Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Ladies and gentlemen, we got some news for you, and I'm pretty sure you already heard, but the Knicks and Immanuel Quickley failed to reach an extension. And I got my man Jay Ellis here. I think this is the first time, maybe the second time you've been on the channel. There was one a long time ago. We did a round table, really long time ago, and I think you were there. I haven't been on your channel yet, but I'm looking forward to getting on. But Jay, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the show, man. And, what's your thoughts on the Knicks failing to reach an extension with Immanuel Quickley?
Yeah, salute to you. I feel like I've been on here twice, but it's been a while. But I'm glad to be back for sure, talking to MBK and just hanging out with you and the Knicks family over here. Listen, I'm a IQ fan. I'm IQ Hive. I love this progression from year to year. Mm-hmm. I thought he's developing nicely. And I know he didn't play well in the playoffs, but during the year, I felt like he showed stints of being at least a starting caliber guy, even though he a fringe starter at the very least. So I understand why there could be contract disputes between the Knicks and IQ, because when he was starting, he averaged 22 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, 40% for three. He was really playing well as a starter. So he's probably in the mind thinking, paid me as such. Right. And he just traded his boy Obi Toppin a month ago. So he's really going to stick you up, because you're not going to trade my boy. You're not going to trade my boy and then not run me my bread. So I'm upset that he isn't extended, but I understand the business behind why he's extended, because it's the new CBA and the Knicks want to balance their books, and they also want to look for stars in the future. So signing Quickley to an over-exuberant contract makes it a little bit tricky moving forward. So I get it, but it doesn't make me any happier.
Ephraim, who's that? Eru, I think it said, IQ posted on social media, never sell out. Who knows what that means? Never sell out. Who knows what that means? The only thing I can think there is they were lowballing them. The Knicks were in position basically to lowball IQ, right? I just said this on Tony Crow's show. They were in position to lowball them because they can match any contract at, when he goes to restricted free agency, they can match any contract. So they can say, hey, we're going to give you 4 years, $75 million, take it or leave it. And if IQ is like, no, I'm not cool with that, they can say, okay, well, go to restricted free agency and, see what you get, right? They're in position to do that. I'm not saying if it's right or wrong, but they're in position to do it. You know what I'm saying? So, who knows how those negotiations went. If Immanuel Quickley, if that's what, based on that type of a tweet, it sounds like maybe they lowballed them.
That's definitely what it sounds like. Never sell out. This is what you're afraid of coming into the season. You never want your young up-and-coming stars coming into the season pissed at the team he's in, because that can very much backfire. Because that man studies. I don't know if you guys been watching video of man Quickley, but there was a video of him going, he watches games twice. He watches the video twice. And the man works out until 2, 3 in the morning. Right. He watches the video twice every game. So he's going to dedicate himself to getting better. So if this man gets better, it's very possible he gets 6 man of the year. He came in second place already. It could be stick-up time to come next summer, and it's bye-bye IQ.
But see, I never thought, I didn't expect that they were going to reach an agreement. I figured they were going to restricted free agency because I wasn't sure if the Knicks knew what his value was. I'm pretty sure his agent probably spoke to some other teams to say, hey, how much would you be willing to pay IQ in free agency, and then brought that information back to the Knicks. I always thought the Knicks were going to try to get a really, really good contract, a really, really good team-friendly contract, and then if they couldn't, take it to restricted free agency. That's what I always thought was going to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want there to be any. I like IQ too. I really do. I think he's a hard worker. You know what I mean? Like he's got the drive. He's got a lot of drive. You know what I'm saying? I think he's constantly learning. I think, like you said, you know, watching video, this and that. I think he's always trying to learn to get better. So I really do like IQ. I know Tom Thibodeau likes IQ, right? You know, you heard Tom Thibodeau. You hear him talk about it all the time. You know what I mean? So I would like IQ to remain a New York Knick. I don't want there to be any like strife between him and an organization coming into the season with any kind of issues. You know what I'm saying? And I was hoping that a deal would get done, but I didn't think it was going to get done. But I was hoping because I wanted the Knicks to be able to, okay, we got him, we got IQ, we got him in tow. You're coming into the season feeling good about it. Now, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I'm nervous too, man. I'm nervous. I'm just looking at this. First, I don't know. I just had a thought, Sim. What's up with Scott Perry? Was Scott Perry negotiating the contracts before he? Because I felt like, I don't know if you guys realize this. I have a theory about the Scott Perry special.
Right.
Right. This is what I call the Scott Perry special, where he does a certain things in his contract. Right. This usually certain signatures. One, team option in the third or fourth years is a signature, right? It's usually a signature. Two, an overpay for year one, ascending contract, right? So usually when I feel like there's players who want a certain amount of money, I usually feel like there's a compromise where you go, you know what? I'm going to overpay you for this 1 year to let you know, hey, I appreciate you.
Right.
I appreciate you what you've done as an organization. And then it descends. And now now it's like the best of both worlds. You get overpaid for 1 year. Then it becomes a tradable contract later on. And then the contract doesn't look so bad.
Right.
But since Scott Perry's gone out, I haven't seen that third, fourth year team option. And I haven't seen the descending contracts anymore. So I'm starting to think, was Scott Perry the guy who was in charge of those type of contracts? I haven't seen those anymore.
Yeah. Well, Scott Perry has he had the experience. Right. He had a lot of experience, a lot of connections, a lot of good relationships. And there's definitely a possibility that, Scott Perry was the engineer behind some of those. What about, did he engineer, or was he was there for Jalen Brunson's contract too?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Descending contract, Jalen Brunson.
Yeah. Descending contract. Exactly. Descending contract. He makes 26 this year, something like that, 24.5 next year. Then there's an opt-out after next season.
Exactly.
Right.
Meanwhile, Jalen McDaniels was making $27 million.
Yeah.
And I'm sure IQ's agent is looking at that like...
Yeah, that's what I'm going to ask you. How much do you think some of these other guys getting their contracts impacted the IQ negotiations?
All right. I think it definitely. Listen, like I think Brogdon is making 22, so he has to at least get in that range. But the Timberwolves once again messed up the market, man. I feel like the Timberwolves messed up the market once again.
The Timberwolves, I don't know what they do over there, what their thinking is over there, and we got to. Well, Roses was from the Timberwolves, right?
Yeah,
but not from this regime, from a former regime.
Exactly.
He was there with Tom Thibodeau, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was there with Tom Thibodeau. I think IQ, hopefully, he's professional. I don't know about the tweet that he made or whatever, or and what he meant behind it. But he seems to be professional. He's going to come in and work hard, no doubt about that. And he's going to, I don't want him to have to try to prove to the team, prove to the front office. I don't think he has to prove anything to Tom Thibodeau. I think Tom Thibodeau believes in him. But I don't want him to feel like he's got to prove his contract. I want him to just be able to play. Right? Go out there and hoop, for the good of the basketball team. You know what I mean?
I agree.
I hope he doesn't take that mentality into the season, because then, that's when things start to get a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
People started already people already calling him a chuck or something like, oh, he doesn't pass enough. Now I can already see the narratives forming. I can already see it, Sim.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, he wants this contract. He's gonna put up more shots.
Right.
I can already see it happening.
Oh, you can, that's going to happen. That's happening. Kevin Bergen said it's his agent and not him who made the comment. I haven't seen it, so, I don't know. I haven't seen it.
But it was on his page,
But if it's on his page, then it's coming from him, right?
Exactly. That's a retweet. That's like I agree with you. That's the stamp of approval. If you're gonna put that on your page.
Exactly. So what happens now? All right. So now the Knicks and Quickley, we don't know everything behind the negotiations, right? We know he goes to restricted free agency. Mm-hmm. What do you think happens? Do the Knicks look to trade him at the deadline? Do they allow him? Well, obviously they're going to allow him to go to restricted free agency. Do they extend the qualifying offer? Because if they extend the qualifying offer, and I think that qualifying offer is like $8 million or something, I believe. Maybe it's $6 million. I'm not sure. I'm going to look it up right now. But if they extend that qualifying offer and if he accepts it, all right, so the qualifying offer is 6.1. If he accepts the qualifying offer, he can play under that $6.1 million for 1 year, and then he'll be an unrestricted free agent for the 2025 offseason. He'd be unrestricted. Right?
Why would they do that?
Right? So, now obviously if they extend the qualifying offer and he denies it, then he goes to restricted free agency. I think they have to extend the qualifying offer. I think they have to.
Why would you think they have to? I mean, I feel like being unrestricted free agent is even more dangerous.
Right. So I think, because I feel like if the Knicks decline and do not extend the qualifying offer, then I think he automatically goes to unrestricted free agency. I think in order for him to be restricted, and I could be wrong, but I think in order for him to be restricted, they have to extend the qualifying offer. He has to turn down the qualifying offer, and then he's in restricted free agency.
Okay.
Right? Well, but if they extend the qualifying offer and he accepts it, then he plays for another season for the Knicks under $6.1 million at $6.1 million, and then he goes into free agency the next year. But they may have a chance to do an extension during that time as well.
Well, I think they're going to pick whatever option where they can retain some rights. I feel like is the option they're going to go.
Right.
Also, I don't know, when you look at the Knicks and how they've done things so far under the Leon Rose tenure, they haven't moved rotational players at the trade deadline. The only time they've moved any type of rotational players was in the summer. So I don't really foresee an IQ trade happening in February.
Right.
I believe if anything is to happen to IQ where he's moved, it's going to be in the summer. And especially if they feel like they can't, match their contract, then I'll definitely see them trying to shop him and get him a payday elsewhere and get some assets, whether it be a first round pick or whether it be a star that they deem worthy. I think that's the direction they will go for IQ, but nothing's going to happen in February.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think anything would happen in February, the only thing that I can say, if he just straight up said, I'm not coming back, I don't want to be here, then maybe then something would happen. But I think IQ would still want to be in New York. I know he wants to be a starter one day, but I think he's okay with maybe honing his skills another year or two, and then, maybe looking to see, am I going to be a starter here, or do I need to go elsewhere to be a starter?
I agree.
It's gonna be a situation. There's gonna be a lot of talk about the situation. I know it is. Going into the season, and it's already talk going into the season. During the season, there's gonna be a lot of talk, and I really didn't want to have that.
Me neither, man. And I'm really looking at this Miles McBride situation closer to, because Tibbs loves McBride. The front office, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like they have their hands in things. I felt like they had their hand in having Cam Reddish start in the beginning of last season. Because I don't really feel like that was 100% Tibbs.
Right.
Because that's not a Tibbs guy.
No.
But I wonder if the front office starts to push Miles McBride to the forefront more to like kind of force feed his growth a little bit. Just because they're kind of bracing themselves for Immanuel Quickley's exit.
Right. I mean, listen, if IQ leaves in the offseason, I think that's a big loss for the Knicks. Because I don't think Deuce is nowhere near. He is nowhere near Immanuel Quickley, in my opinion. Not even close. Defensively, yeah, but you need it on both sides, and IQ plays defense too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So not even close. I think that would be a huge loss if we lose Immanuel Quickley in all season. Huge loss.
I agree because the Knicks haven't had that. The Knicks, they haven't had that reputation of being the team who develops players. Mm-hmm. So when you're looking at IQ. And him being a sixth man of the year, that's probably your greatest achievement as in the Leon Rose era, as saying, hey, look, this is what we did from a player we drafted. He was D- grade, drafted 25, and now he's a sixth man of the year. That's you finally develop a player and then you let him go. It's bad. It's a bad look.
Yeah. It's a bad look. And you get this guy, late in the first round. Right? You get him late in the first round. I think they even maneuvered some pieces to draft him, if I remember correctly. I think they traded back.
Yeah,
right.
I think so.
I think they traded back so that they could draft Immanuel Quickley because Tom Thibodeau really did like Immanuel Quickley. So they went and got this guy. It's not like he was there. They went and got him. It would be a bad look for him not to re-sign with the Knicks. I think it'd be a bad look. I think there is some flexibility there. I don't want the Knicks to have to trade IQ, but I do want it to be a fair contract, for everybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? A fair contract for everybody so that, if all parties are happy, it's going to work more smooth. If all parties are happy, it's going to work more smooth.
Well, do you overpay though? That's the question. If you how much are you willing to give him? That's the real question.
And that's the question, right? Do you overpay? Has he shown, like when the Knicks were trying to get Jalen Brunson, you thought, okay, maybe they might have to overpay. His contract turned out to be beautiful, right, for the production that he's at least gave us last season. A few years ago, the Knicks kind of overpaid for Tim Hardaway. I think they thought maybe he was on the verge of, doing something. I don't know that they overpaid for Julius Randle when they got him.
No,
they signed him. I don't think they overpaid for Julius Randle. So I think like if you're in a bad situation as a team, a tough situation where you really, really need talent, then you might be forced to overpay. Right? I don't know if the Knicks are in that situation now because they have some talent on the team and they might feel like, and maybe that's why they feel like we can keep this guy restricted. We have talent. We can lowball him. And I feel like that might be what happened. And that's the reason why his agent or whoever sent out that tweet, never sell out. I don't know.
Listen, Sam. Dante DiVincenzo. Yeah. All right. It's starting to look more and more like the reason Dante is even here is to lowball IQ. Because everybody's been arguing, including myself, why haven't the Knicks gotten a 6'7", 6'8" win in here?
Right.
Why are we signing this Dante guy who's 6'5" and can shoot? Oh, and he can also play make a bit. Right. Like some pieces seem redundant. This could be a leverage play. This can all be just one big leverage play to see if they can lowball IQ. That could be exactly what's happening. But the reality is, if IQ was still Sixth Man of the Year candidate last season. So as good as Dante has been, can he replicate that?
Yeah, right. Do you think, maybe the Knicks, and maybe it's as simple as the Knicks want to see more, want to say, well, can he do it again? Can he be a Sixth Man of the Year candidate again? So that they know his value a little bit better. Hopefully it's as simple as that.
I hope so.
Hopefully it's just that simple. I don't know. Well, Ron, what's going on, man?
Oh man, trying to fit it all into a short amount of time. So appreciate you. Thank you for having me on the show. Always a pleasure to see my guy Jay Ellis. What's good, my brother?
What's good, Ron? That's my guy.
Appreciate you. Yeah, man. Just trying to get it all done, but I'm this Quickley stuff is a hotbed topic right now. So
it's a hot one right now. It's a hot one, man.
Yeah, man.
It's a hot one.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Ron? How you feeling about it?
I was hoping that they'd get it done, but I kind of expected that they wasn't going to do anything. Yeah. It just didn't seem like, the thing about the Knicks, for a organization that tries to keep everything so quiet and all this media stuff that they don't want to give interviews and all, we tend to always find out when the Knicks are doing a lot of things. You know what I mean? Oh, Knicks are inquiring about this. Knicks are keeping an eye on this. Knicks have made but we didn't hear anything substantial about them negotiating with Quickley.
Right.
So I really wasn't feeling too positive about it. I don't. It's a tough one, man. Somehow the Knicks sometimes find themselves in an odd position because the flexibility of signing him really wouldn't have been good. But then the flip side is not signing him. I don't know. Quickley is different from RJ.
Quiet.
I think we talked about this in the past. I think the Knicks signed RJ because of the whole throwing him in the Donovan Mitchell trade stuff. And just, at that time he was still a big, fan favorite. I think he's kind of, some fans are soured on him a little bit. So it's a different time, but this with Quickley's also a different animal. You know what I mean? So Quickley might take this as a little bit of all right. Well, I mean, listen, if you don't want to sign me now while you got your chance, we'll see what happens on the open market. But it's not really open because it's still restricted. I just feel like I don't want to put a bad taste in Quickley's mouth either, because right now he is a big part of this team.
Yeah, he's a huge part of the team. Let's get some thoughts from some callers. Lauren from Cali. What's going on, my brother? How you feeling, man? Good. Can you guys hear him?
No, can't hear him.
You guys can't hear him?
No.
Hold on for 1 second. Okay, I think you can hear him now. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Lauren from Cali on the line. Lauren, what's popping?
Can you hear me?
Lauren.
You hear me now?
Yeah,
yes,
good.
Yes,
Good.
sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yep, it's all good. We can hear you.
We hear you.
All right. So, first of all, how's everybody doing? Good?
Good. Yes, sir. Doing good.
Fantastic.
So, in a vacuum, I would want to give Immanuel Quickley all the money he's asking for, because from when we drafted him to who he is now, he's obviously worked his butt off to become not only great in offense, but also a great defensive specialist. But I do think, though, the reason why the Knicks are playing it this way is because if you look at the landscape of the league and the way the game is being played, there's too much talent. I think the influx of talent, the pool of talent out there, is making the pay of certain players less than they projected just 2 years ago. If you look at teams like OKC, the OKC Thunder, the Houston Rockets, the Orlando Magic, basically every team these days is almost like 10 deep of really, really good players. Now, obviously, Immanuel Quickley has proven himself to be, I think he got robbed last year, Sixth Man of the Year. But is his style of play, is he good enough to have as much leverage as we think he does in comparison to the rest of the league, as far as the pool of talent that's out there? Is Immanuel Quickley that much better than what he's demanding and what we hope he can get from Leon's perspective?
So, okay, that's a good question. I think I think it needs more context though, because I don't think you can just say, okay, is he as good as this guy that got this extension or that guy or that guy? What does he mean to our team though?
Yeah, it's like
Right? I mean, you know, is he meaningful to our team? Because right now, when you look at, I mean, who's backing up Jalen Brunson? If IQ's not here, if you know, we haven't seen if Dante DiVincenzo can definitely do it. We're gonna find that out. Deuce is, you know, offensively handicapped right now. Defensively, he's great. You know, so you know who's backing up Jalen Brunson, right? And when RJ has some of those nights where he's not doing it, you know, some of those real bad shooting nights, IQ has been there. IQ was our third best player last year.
facts.
You know what I'm saying? So
and I'll give them the money, but I'm just thinking from the perspective of Leon Rose, right?
Right.
So using an example of like the Miami Heat of last season, the roster that they had and the players that were able to just plug and play based on the system being played, right? Again, in ISO, independent of a system and how the game is being played these days, IQ is amazing. And I would, again, want to pay him everything he wants. But thinking from Leon's perspective, how much better as an individual is he to command what he believes he's worth when I look at the landscape of the league and how the league is, how the game is played? So, for example, if I look at somebody like, who can I use an example? Somebody like, let's say Jokic, right? When you're giving Jokic a maximum, you are not only paying your best scorer, you're also paying your best passer, your best. There are so many different things that makes him a max player and command what he commands. How much does IQ do to command what he's asking for based on the other players I can possibly plug and play? I would give him the money. But Leon is probably looking at it like, yo, this is why the NBA is trying to implement 2 more teams, because there's so much talent in the league. These players are not really commanding what they hoped they would get just 2 years ago. It's changed that much, you know? And I think that's how he will be looking at it. That's what I think. I'm not sure, but that's how it feels. Because I don't know why we would give, as far as hesitation, I don't know why we would give Josh Hart $20 million and be hesitant about what IQ is asking for. I love Josh Hart, but IQ is IQ, you know? So I'm not hesitating to give him his money, but I think that's what he would be thinking, like somebody like Leon Rose, I think, you know?
Yeah. No, I mean, I understand what you're saying. And Leon Rose, they're probably most likely they're going to find whatever they can to, negotiate and have some leverage. Right. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think what you're saying. I think they too should look at what does he mean to the team. Right. In those negotiations, if they want to try to be fair, but they're going to try to do what's in the best interest of the New York Knicks. I think having Immanuel Quickley is in the best interest of the Knicks. So I think they have to look at but I think they just don't know what he's worth. I don't think they really get it and understand it. It becomes hard, with some players, like, how do you know exactly what they're worth? And if he does go to restricted free agency, now you see what other teams are offering and you can match.
And you mentioned something. You said they may not know how good he is. Like, is that what you said? I think you said that earlier. They
Yeah,
may
I
not
said,
be sure how good he is, right?
maybe in their mind, they're like, okay, is he really, did he just have a good year or can he do it again? Maybe they're not sure. Maybe they want to see it again.
Yeah, I think the playoffs might have something to do with it too.
So if I could pick something that I would wish IQ did better, just my perspective, I would love for him to be a much better shot selector. That's the only thing I can say. I really wish IQ didn't rush certain times to just check up a shot. Again, that's just a little pet peeve thing. But that could also, what you mentioned, that could also be something that Leon Rose is looking at. And again, I hate to keep bringing up the landscape of the league, but if y'all monitor the talent in the league, it's going to make it really hard for a lot of players to get money. It's going to make it very hard.
No,
I think it is going to make it hard, but at the same time, for the teams who have money, the teams who manage their books, they're going to give those players the money. Those players who are on this is what makes the IQ situation so tricky, because he comes off the bench, he gives you 14 points a game, but when he's starting, he gives you starter stats on starters efficiency.
Right.
So there's going to be other teams around the league who are going to be looking at him as a pinch starter or a starter who they might take a swing on and think maybe they can get even more out of. So it makes it difficult for us because essentially we're getting a starter off the bench and they want to pay him like a bench player.
Yeah.
And so like they want to pay him $20 million, which is like a high level bench player. But he's looking at himself
what is he asking
I'm a
for?
starter.
Isn't he asking for like 120 or something like that?
I don't know what he's. I'm not sure what he's asking for. I'm not sure right now exactly what he's asking for.
I think speculation has been 100 million. I believe
million, like 4 years, 100 million.
Speculation. Yeah.
Like 4 years, 100 million. 25 million dollars a year.
I wouldn't want us to lose him because, as you said, we don't have a reputation of literally breeding our own talent, and we've been doing an amazing job under Leon Rose getting these kids to. I don't like Tibbs much, but I'll give him respect when it comes to getting these kids to actually appreciate a Knicks jersey. He does an amazing job because nobody gets anything for free. I'll give him that much. These kids, every single one of them, their draft positions, they've outperformed the draft position under this coach. So kudos to that. And I hope we don't lose him. I don't know. It's not it's not exciting. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Nah, I hear you. I hope we don't use. I don't want to lose him. I don't want to lose him at all. You know what I mean? Hopefully he sticks around. They figure something out. Listen, they'll have all season long. Well, I guess they won't have to negotiate anything, but they'll have all season long to talk about this qualifying offer, to talk about, how to move forward in the future. And also, his agent will have all season long to talk with other teams and say, hey, what would he be worth?
So I have a question for you, though. Yeah. It's not random, but it's kind of specific because I want to get an idea of how you think IQ would approach this season now that he knows he needs to work for his bag. If IQ is your relative or your son or something, what would you advise him to do? Would you advise him to get as many buckets as he can? Or what would you advise him to do considering his moves this year literally equate to him getting a bag or not getting a bag? What would you say?
I would advise him to play the way he played last year.
Facts.
That's it. Do what you did last year. Don't try to go out and get buckets because other teams are going to see that too. Right? Oh, look what he's doing. Do what you did last year, and I think you're good.
Yeah, you just need to replicate the second half of that season in the first half, and you're fine. Because really, IQ's second half was amazing. If you'd have played that way in the first half, he might have won. So all you gotta do is play that second half the whole season, and your bag is yours.
That's it. Do what you did last year, and then perform in the playoffs.
It's the playoffs.
There you go, and then perform in the playoffs.
Gotcha.
And the Knicks won't be able to say anything. The Knicks won't be able to say anything. But Lauren, one of the more calm calls from Lauren.
It's because you're not pissing me off today.
One of the more calm calls. No doubt. Lauren, I appreciate it, man.
I'll let you, man.
Peace. What teams do you think might have some interest in Immanuel Quickley this summer?
What teams? Everybody with money. Everybody with money. Young rebuilding teams is what I'm looking at. So Utah for sure would be one. I think they would like. I feel like San Antonio probably. And then what other young teams are there? Okay. But they have their point guard situation.
Right. Yeah.
Who needs a starting point guard?
Who needs a starting point guard?
What's Houston looking like? Is Houston?
Nah,
I don't know.
No. They just got Van Vliet.
Yeah, Houston's done.
Yeah, that's
they just got Van Vliet.
What about Orlando? What are they doing? What's going on?
Orlando's got 3 guys over there that we don't know which one of them is who. They've got Cole Anthony. They've got Jalen Suggs. They got Anthony Black now that they just drafted, and I think there's another guy that I'm missing. Oh, the dude who was hurt. That he had a good.
That's the guy. That said the 76ers drafted.
Yeah, he was the number 1 pick.
Markelle Fultz. Right. Markelle Fultz. Yeah.
Right, and didn't Cole Anthony get an extension today?
Yeah, he just did.
Like $11 million a year, something like that.
3
years.
And technically, he's like their 2 guard, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I see somebody said Toronto. I was thinking about Toronto. But then also I know they have a Schroeder, so I'm not sure. I mean, maybe they would be interested, but I'm not sure if IQ would be interested.
Right.
Yeah, I think you might want to put Toronto in your never dealing with them right now bag.
Listen,
Well, I mean,
no,
but Toronto might try to offer him a crazy deal just to get back at the Knicks.
Right.
Right.
There will never be a trade between the Knicks and Toronto
No.
as long as
No.
Usai is there.
And that would be one of the reasons why Toronto would say, okay, we'll offer you a crazy contract if they really like them. You know, we'll overpay you. We know the Knicks won't match, and we're not going to deal with the Knicks to do a sign and trade.
Jeremy Lin, they're definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And then the Knicks got to decide, am I going to match that crazy contract?
They definitely would, Jeremy Lin.
Right? Because who do they have? Who's that point guard now? That's right, Dennis Schroeder. That's right.
Schroeder.
How long is his contract for?
Oh, I don't know.
Probably not even long.
It's probably like a 1 or 2 year deal. Maybe they signed him some good money.
Because, you know, I don't see them looking at him as I feel like Toronto's going to be breaking down. I don't feel like that team is going to.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like they're going to be breaking down. Dennis Schroeder signed for 2 years, this year, next season. So 12.4 for this season, and then $13 million next season. So, you know, you could see them looking at Immanuel Quickley and saying, okay, we play with, you know, you're here with Dennis Schroeder for a year, then we let Schroeder go, and you got the keys. You know?
Yeah.
Yep. Toronto could be one. I think that could definitely be one. I was looking at SNY TV and they mentioned Charlotte.
Charlotte.
That's interesting.
But aren't they got the Ball brother there? Isn't he?
They got LaMelo there. I don't know why Charlotte would be there unless, you know, they're looking at him playing next to LaMelo Ball, you know, playing more off the ball with LaMelo being on the ball.
Right. I don't think that's what IQ wants, though.
Right. Exactly. I don't think that's what he wants either. There'll be teams out there. I can definitely see San Antonio being willing to pay him a lot of money.
I can see that. Right.
Because they're going to have all kinds of money. They already got all kinds of money. So I can see them being willing to pay him. There'll be some threats out there. And there'll be some teams that can offer him a lot of money that, you know, it could be a little bit scary. And the Knicks be, you know, the last time we had a guy go to restricted free agency, well, no, RJ Barrett, he didn't go to restricted free agency, right? He got an extension that summer.
That's what I said. Jeremy Lin, man, he on
Jeremy Lin. Jeremy Lin, is he the last guy? Well, you know, big name guy or whatever. Maybe some other guys did, but Jeremy Lin, and we see what happened with Jeremy Lin. Hopefully, it doesn't happen.
I don't think we had a guy go into restricted free agency since. I feel like we just traded. We haven't re-signed people.
Right.
We have not. That's right. We went on the drought. We haven't re-signed people. It was the Charlie Workers.
Right. Exactly. Charlie Workers. Another point guard. The San Antonio Spurs right now have $87 million committed for next season. 87.7. So they'll have some money if they'll have $50 million that they can spend in free agency, right? Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Somewhere around $50 million that they can spend in free agency. So, there'll be some people out there. There'll be some teams out there that can put some pressure on the Knicks.
For sure.
Now,
all the teams that have money, they have a point guard. So those are the teams we've been looking at.
Right. They also mentioned on SNY TV Philadelphia.
I was going to say Philadelphia. They're a team that I think that, you know, quickly fits their style of play. I also think they would love to put Quickley and Maxey together. I think they'd like that.
I mean, give us Embiid.
Sign a trade.
Right,
sign a trade.
We give you some more pieces. You can give
right, there you go. Sign a trade.
IQ straight up, of course, you know.
Yeah. We'll see what happens with IQ, man. You know, I would have liked for the Knicks to have worked out something, but the Clippers rebuild. MLK said sign a trade with the Clippers. I can see. I know, but I know the fit is there. But what are they going to be looking like going into next season with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard? That thing could be on the verge of breaking down too. I think because those guys
Russell Westbrook
and Russell Westbrook. Yeah, that thing. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I understand the fit. I think the fit is there. I just don't know how that team is gonna be. Now, if they break down, then they could look and say IQ is a nice guy to rebuild. But I honestly thought IQ and Obi were going to be traded to the Washington Wizards over the offseason. I really did. I thought that they were going to end up with the Wizards. Both of them have Maryland ties. They needed young guys. After trading Bradley Beal and KP, they needed young and exciting guys to kind of restart. And I thought that would have been a good duo for them to rebuild with. You know what I'm saying? But they went a decent route with what they did.
Yeah, Jordan Poole's over there now.
Jordan Poole's over there. Tyus Jones, decent route. Obi didn't get an extension either. If it's any consolation.
Come on, Obi. We need a backup.
If it's any consolation. Yeah. Last thing before, Queens Court starts at 8:30. All right. So for those who are here, it's going to take you right to the Queens Court. So, and Steph will be ready to go. All right. So as soon as we're done with this stream and we close it off, it's going to take you to the Queens Court so you can check in over there and I'm sure talk about IQ some more, but you're going to talk about, I think she's going to talk about some of the upcoming games, Atlanta, Boston, etc. Talk about the Eastern Conference a little bit. So that should be a really good, entertaining show. Last thing, though, before we get out of here. Any thoughts about Taj Gibson re-signing with the Knicks? He just got waived. Just got waived. You know what I mean?
Call him up.
Need a backup 4. Tom Thibodeau loves him.
Yo, dust it off, man.
I would love for the Knicks to bring Taj Gibson in as that backup 4. I would love for them to have him.
It makes you wonder, Sam, if the Knicks, not deciding to keep some of these guys, if how they talk, there's always something that gets out there. If they already knew, like Taj knew, listen, I don't think they're gonna keep me over here.
Right. I mean, he was just at the Garden.
You know
a couple
what I mean?
days ago. Right, just at the Garden a couple of days ago. So who knows?
We need some type of length at the power forward spot. Anybody, I'll take Taj. I'll take anybody over 6'6" to play power forward because we need something.
I didn't mean to cut you off, JL, but I'll let you finish. I would love for Taj to be able to work with Jericho Sims even more.
There you go.
Get Jericho right, man.
Yeah. That would
play
be
Jericho
great.
at power forward though. Like, can we pull the plug on that?
I mean, what is he though? What is he?
He's a center.
Is he though?
Yes.
I mean, he's the size of a power forward, but he plays like a center.
Yes.
Yeah. He plays like a center, right? He does.
Yeah. I mean, hey, he took a pull up, he took a little mid range shot in the first preseason game, was it? He did. I don't think he really wanted to. The shot clock was running down, so he had to pull it.
And he's shooting it on the way down, but I mean, he had to shoot it.
He had to shoot it. He had to let it go. You know what I mean? Had to let it go. I don't know. I would love to see Taj Gibson come on back and and adds some more veteran leadership to the team and be able to give you some 12. I don't know if he would definitely give you 12 to 13 minutes per game, but if that Josh Hart at the power forward isn't working, you got Taj Gibson you can plug in and he knows what to do. Mm-hmm. He's going to get it done. So I would love to see Taj Gibson come back in the Knick uniform, retire in the Knick uniform this time, or play the Herb Williams role, whichever one you want to do.
Yeah, I agree. Bringing Taj Gibson, we lost the Derrick Rose leadership when we traded him to the Memphis Grizzlies, so we kind of need like an old veteran voice to be a calming influence on the bench. So I'm definitely for bringing back Taj. And like I said, we just need some length and some height on the bench. I still don't understand why we got rid of Isaiah Roby. I understand he was struggling in summer league. But that one preseason game, like I felt like there was something there. I finally felt like he performed to a level where I can see where he can be useful. Like a tall guy, he defended pretty well. He hit a couple of threes, and I felt like in that moment I was like, man, okay, let's keep him. I love Sims. I know he's been here longer, but I think I want to roll Roby and give him another chance. But I kind of feel like the Knicks just chose Sims out of loyalty because he's been in the program for longer.
Right.
But I think the right call probably would have been to give Isaiah another shot.
Do you think they like Jacob Toppin though? Because he's 6'9".
That's true.
Right? Maybe they want to see what he does. He's athletic. I know Tom Thibodeau was talking about his defense. Thinks he's good defensively. Maybe they want to give him a ride and see see if he.
No, he looks good defensively. I'm not sure offensively how polished he is, but he looks good defensively. And shout out to the chat who said Isaiah Roby's re-signed. I saw that he signed to a 10-day, he's still with us in some capacity.
No, he's not. He's gone. They let him go again.
Yeah, they waived
him go again.
They waived him again.
Yeah, he actually insult to injury. He actually signed. He signed with Boston.
Yo, what is up with Boston taking all of our?
I'm telling you, brother.
You got Luke Cornett, you got Isaiah Roby, and then you got KPs with one knee playing over there. But what is up with Boston? Get off! Stop collecting all powerful.
So the Knicks signed Isaiah Roby, right, and then they waived Diakite, Brandon Goodwin, Isaiah Roby, and Dwayne Washington Jr. And then they converted Charlie Brown Jr. to a two-way. Right, he's been converted to a two-way contract. So,
someone else too.
Someone else?
They gave it to Jacob Toppin. Other two.
That's right, Jacob Toppin and Dylan Windler is actually on a guaranteed contract.
Right
on the roster now.
Right.
He was a guy in the beginning of the season, when training camp first started, that I thought could get. I thought he was a sleeper of a guy that could get a roster spot because of his shooting ability.
And apparently he plays pretty decent defense too.
Yeah. So
although I didn't see it in the preseason, but I think from what they were saying, apparently he's been getting busy in practice. So they like what he looked like in practice. So
yeah, we'll see. We'll see if he gets out there on the floor. I guess, I don't know. Neither one of those guys are true power forwards. I mean, I guess Jacob Toppin could probably play that spot if he does get some burn. Dylan Windler is more of a 3, right?
Yeah.
So
remember when we had 8 power forwards? Remember we had that problem?
Yeah, Bobby Portis, all those guys, right? Now it's the opposite way.
Now he's gonna go the opposite. He's just gonna go the hot to cold.
Right.
All right, Knicks. I see what you're doing. Okay.
Yeah. Man. We'll see, man. Last thing, do you think that with IQ not signing an extension, do you think it's going to have an impact on the season?
Oh, and I apologize. Sorry. Thank you guys in the chat. I confused it. It wasn't Roby. It was Knight who signed with Boston.
Oh, Knight signed with Boston.
Nathan Knight. Yeah, okay. Nathan Knight. Yeah, that was it. I knew it was a Knick player, one of those forwards, but okay. My bad.
Okay.
But do you think this IQ thing? Do you think it impacts? Does it impact the season?
I'll be quick. I'll let JLS go. I don't think so. It only impacts IQ. If IQ doesn't play like IQ, that's the problem. But I don't think it's gonna. I think IQ's too strong-minded. He's too bullheaded to not go out there and play the way he is used to playing.
Okay.
So that was it. That's my quick take.
Okay.
He's been professional so far, so I don't think it's going to upset the flow of the season per se. But like I said, end of the year, if that boy start putting up numbers, it is stick up time. Show me the money. It's going to get. He's going to play. He's going to play other teams against us. So don't let that boy show out because it's a wrap.
Yeah. Well, we'll see, ladies and gentlemen. I do want to tell callers, man, when you pick up You can probably hear the show, in the background. You can hear us talking and things. If you hear us talking, there's no reason to say hello, because you're on hold. You're waiting for, I'm going to answer it in a second. Just had, a guy who was like, hello. You guys couldn't hear it, but I could hear it in my headphones. And I'm thinking like, dude, like you can hear us talking. I'm going to get to you. But, it is what it is. He'll get it when he comes back. Ladies and gentlemen, on Wednesday, the Knicks take on the Boston Celtics. Opening night.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm not going to be at the game. I know Jay Ellis is going to be at the game. But I will be having a watch party at Legends. All right, so make sure you join us at the watch party if you're not going to the game. All right, we'll be there from 6 p.m. to 11, probably 11:30, a little bit afterwards. All right, it's 5 minutes. It's a 5-minute walk from the Garden. So even if you're going to the game, you can come join us for a little live podcast game preview and then make your way to the Garden. All right, come join us. There's a link in the description of the video. There's one tag to your YouTube chat. It's free of charge, but, we like to keep track of how many people are going to be there so we can let Legends know how to staff the night. All right, so make sure you join us, ladies and gentlemen. Looking forward to seeing you on Wednesday.
Yeah. I'm pulling up too.
Yeah, Jay Ellis is going to be there. It's pulling up so we can join us on the pod. And tomorrow night, we're planning to do I don't know. Well, we're going to talk about what exactly we're calling it, but we're doing a show to preview the season tomorrow night. Jay Ellis and the crew will be on. All right, we'll be crossing over. We'll be on his channel, our channel. Ron, hopefully you can join us tomorrow night. It's going to be like 9:30, so it's going to be a dope show. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, I might be free for that. That's cool.
Yeah, it's going to be a dope show. We hopefully Steph is free. I think Tony's going to be on. It's going to be fun. Nice round table.
Yeah, KOT MBK crossover. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it. We're going to get it done. But any last words before we get out of here so I can push this on over to the Queen, Ron?
No, just, calm down, Knicks fans. The season's going to be okay. I know we haven't done a lot, but what we haven't done is probably for a good reason. So the chemistry, the continuity, it's there. Just give it some time. You'll start to see it. And outside of that, maybe replay game because I know Steph's going on at 8:30, but we're still Knicks fans. SKF Weekly's coming on at 9. Special guest is Troy from the Knicks Recap. So please check us out when you can.
Yeah, no doubt. Jay Ellis?
Absolutely. I just hope we somehow retain IQ. It looks like that's not going to be possible, but hey, I'm the blind faith guy. I'm gonna wait until the very last moment and hope that it happens. So. But I think we're gonna have a good season regardless. And also, shout out to my people at KOT. We did an IQ show as well, so definitely check that out. But also, definitely gotta check out Steph. Do all that first, and then you can come over.
Yeah, go over and check it out. No doubt about it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here. It's gonna take you right on over to Steph. So make sure you get there and check it out. Peace.